hopeful plea for good things coming wild and free. Don't know tomorrow, but we believe new good moments we conceive. Youth for Christ, a hopeful sight. Young heart shining, Jubilee divine. They're the hope and spirit bright, guiding us with all the light. See their energy strong and clear, helping hands banishing.
Dear viewer, welcome to our Pauline's Africa YouTube channel. I am Sister Olga Masangu from the Daughters of St. Paul. Today, in our special program of the Jubilee, we have Youth for Christ series. As the church prepares to celebrate the Jubilee for young people that will be from 27 July to 3rd August, that is next week, we take time to listen to those who guide, inspire, and work with youth in this unique moment of grace. This special youth video series in the Jubilee Year of Hope, we sit today with young people and together with him, their chaplain, to hear their voices, their hopes, their faith journeys, and how they are present and active in both real life and in the digital world. Guided by Pope Francis, Christus Vivit, and the Vatican document towards full presence, this conversation gives space to the heart, questions, struggles, challenges, and dreams of the youth. This interview is not just about listening. It is about working together. Let us hear the heartbeat of a new Kenya, full of promise, purpose, and presence. And today, we have with us Father Cosmas Mwova, the National Executive Secretary Commission for Youth Apostolate in the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops, and the youth leaders of the national office. Welcome. Who are you and how do you understand your identity as young Kenyans today? We can start by Father.
Thank you, Sister. Welcome, dear viewers and listeners. As you've heard, my name is Reverend Father Cosmas Mwova, the National Executive Secretary, Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops, in charge of the Commission for the Youth Apostolate. As that is my identity, I would want to say that I was appointed this year to work for this new commission. It was established last year by the bishops when they had their plenary, and it is something that we never had in mind until the bishops came up with it. And it is really a powerful commission because we understand when we talk of Youth for Christ, it is in the minds of the bishops that we need to work closely to the young people, walk with them, accompany them, and more so listen to them. It is also in the spirit of the synod for synodality, applying the three principles of participation. We invite the younger people to participate in the church And not that they have not been, but actually in a more way of allowing them to participate in church matters. Number two, we are invited to work with the younger people for the commissioning of this, or maybe to communing with them so that they enjoy that communion, that part being part of the church. And then after that, we become people sent for a mission to participate in the church as we walk in this journey. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. First, we want to appreciate so much the invitation, and we are humbled to join you for this specific series. I'm Joseph B. Loburu. I come from the Catholic Diocese of Ngong, and currently I'm serving the commission, the newly formed Commission for Youth Apostolate, as the National Youth Moderator. My home parish, I come from a small parish in Rongai. It's called St. Ignatius Olekasasi Catholic Parish. Also, as a young Kenyan, I studied in Kenyatta University, architecture, and I'm still doing some small things, but I'm glad this is where I am, and whatever we are doing in the small ways we are doing, we're still serving the church. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for having me, sister. My name is Wangoi Winnie, a teacher by profession, a youth mentor, and a Catholic solo artist. I come from the Archdiocese of Nairobi, St. Martin de Porres Parish in Karuri. I am one person who really loves the aspect of youthfulness in all aspects of life. Because for me, youth means renewal, rejuvenation. I, just like him, I'm a graduate of Kenyatta University as a teacher by profession, and in my second degree doing Masters of Library and Information Science. So for me, it's about becoming every day. So being here is an element of youthfulness and renewal. I'm glad to be here.
Becoming every day, says Wangoi. What does it mean, hope, for you in this Jubilee year of hope?
For me, as a priest, having been a priest for the last 14 years, it's about life, because every other minute, every other hour is about hoping or expecting more and more. And every other step that I make, I expect something new, an experience that again gives me another kind of maybe yearning for another more and more. And so when it comes to this life as a Christian and as a priest, and again serving with, or maybe working or accompanying the younger people, it is my hope, and I've been praying that I want to see a different level of younger people growing, and most of the challenges they go through, maybe as it were yesterday, that it cannot be the same today and tomorrow, and that we pray that as we've experienced, the younger people have a lot of challenges. We want to see them calm down. They may not end, but we want it, as a priest, I would want to see a church where the younger people are still realizing their dreams, they are having good discernment on their vocations and in their lives, and again, the appreciation of their role in the church, what they do, what they receive from the church, and again, also appreciate the leaders, our shepherds, how they look into our issues as young people, so that at the end of the day, hope is applied in our lives every day. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Hope for me is very crucial, because it's a journey of growth where I look at everything in my life as an opportunity to become better, where I fail and learn from the failure and improve myself and the youth around me and the society around me. So the journey of hope is a journey of renewal. Thank you.
Thank you. For me, I think hope for me is a nourishing, very nourishing experience. It's something I think it is not just said, but it's something that you actually live. Coming out of university, joining the job market, especially in a very flooded market where you have so many young people who don't have this opportunity. The message of hope, the Jubilee we are celebrating this year, and I want to connect it with the message we had last year. The Pope gave us a message. I think we used it also. It was a message to the youth. Hope does not disappoint. And we have carried it forward. I think to the young people and to myself, it's something very important. We are going through a lot. I think there's a space where from the mental, we have been checking recently so many cases of mental health, depression, and this is coming from the difficult backgrounds we are coming from. And then I just believe that it was through the Holy Spirit. It's my belief that the church was guided to announce this, and it is a message of inspiration, and it's supposed to calm down and remind people, settle them that, oh, there is actually a point there is somewhere we are supposed to head to. There is a thought you need to bring. This hope is supposed to take you somewhere. Thank you.
Yes, hope takes us to our personal dreams. And how do you relate your personal dreams? We start with our boy child here. How do you relate your personal dreams to your faith?
I think for me, you see, I've not gotten there yet, and it's a journey, the way she was saying. It is a journey, we are going step by step. Now, I don't know where the ship is going to land at the end of the day, but I know there is a journey I'm supposed to take, and there is a lot of hope I've put in. So for me, since I was a young boy, I think I've also shared with Fab, because he's a very good and close friend of mine, and Winnie also here. I have always wanted to be a priest, but I really wanted to study and have this planned and this laid out. And I told them, I remember one day I was sharing and I was telling them, oh my God, I don't know when I'm going to get there, but I do believe and have hope one day I'm going to get there. When I was going to university, and I know this is an experience most young people have, you are never sure of whether you are going. I've had so many friends we went with to university. Some unfortunately never finished due to different stages. But there is always a hope that one day I'll get to that point. So for me, it is a crucial part for anyone who has a vision and a dream of where they want to get to. It is very important.
How do I relate my personal life or dream with faith? Believing and becoming is the underlying factor. There is no way we can be able to separate our faith and our purpose. Each one of us has been sent here to the world to fill a certain gap in life. So, and referencing Christ, our Savior, and whom we all look forward to meeting in our eternity, we cannot be able to separate the two. We learn through my life and my aspiration of becoming a Catholic solo artist, and I thank God because I am at the moment. Like you look at the faith that I anchor my music in, the Christianity. So I cannot be able to separate my faith in my life, because I am, because faith is, because Christ is. Yeah.
Thank you, sister, for that question. I think from my side, it is something that I've really looked forward to seeing it actualize as a dream. When I joined the conference as a national youth chaplain, there is something that I really looked forward to seeing it actualize. And one is that I wanted to see the youths in the country grow. And thanks be to God that it has happened, that as we speak now, we have a commission that has been established by the bishops. That was my dream, that one day, one time I see it. We work so closely. Not that we never worked closely with the young people, but when you look at the structure now we have for this commission, it tells you that it must have been not my own dream, but the dream of the church, because I'm working for the church, I'm a member in the church for the salvation of my soul first, and the salvation of other souls. And so it has been my dream that as a priest, I want to see the commission grow and reach to so many young people. In fact, one of the resolutions of the conference during their last plenary they held was to approve a recommendation we made about the digital evangelization. And that was a dream that I had for the longest time I've been serving as a youth chaplain, because we have so many younger people in the world who need to be reached to, and we needed a way or a system or a method of reaching to the young people. And one of it is this one, that from where we sit, we will be able to reach to so many young people, and I am sure in their interactions, they will pick something from that. And then I want to relate it with my life as a priest. There is no other fulfillment I can get as a priest through my appointment as an executive secretary for the commission if I don't see the young people coming on board. And this is also has been one of my, for the last 10 years I've been interacting with the young people online, digitally. I've been sending very small things, write-ups, so that I can reach to them. And that has been my dream. And I want to believe it is not that I will ever reach to it. Somebody will come and continue with this. Because the highest and ultimate goal for every Christian, for every human soul, is to be with God in heaven. Thank you.
Thank you. And congratulations, because setting this commission at national level, the bishops voiced out the preoccupation really to listen, to create structures for accompanying and welcoming young people. And I believe that is what you are feeling. What do you think?
You have nailed it. I think when I came in, when I came into office, I remember one of the key problem or challenges. I remember we had done several talks and engagements with young people from different councils across the country, from different dioceses. And one of the things that was coming very strongly from them is they feel we are not being listened to. We are not feeling our voice getting somewhere. And then our bishops, once they sat down, they noted this as a key. And again, to Father's point, the commission being brought was now in what we are talking about, synod and synodality. How do we find a way of stepping from where we are, then get to close? I think in the book Christus Vivit, there is a small segment that says listening, a listening church. So now we feel like they are here with us, we talk to them. I go to the office sometimes, I find Father, any young person who goes, even back in the diocese, there is that feeling and change. I feel like it's across where we are able to get to them, we are able to voice out, and we even get feedback. Sometimes some may not accept, but there's something, at least you get a chance, you can talk to them, you can listen, and not just with the bishops, even with our priests.
Thank you. Wangui, you are a mentor. Tell us, how do you feel mentorship should be in this active listening in the church?
Thank you very much. I think for me, mentorship is broad, if I could say so, but it's so much about appreciating the potential that is within the group that we are supposed to nurture. It's not so much about telling, it's about listening. It's about understanding where the people that you're journeying with are coming from and where they seek to go to. It is not so much about directing. It's about active listening. It's about asking yourself questions as the youth share out their views. And I'm so thankful to the Commission for granting the youth of this moment an opportunity to be heard, an opportunity to belong. For the longest time, the society has had a structure of who is the authority, who is next to the biggest authority, and who is the last. And the child, quote unquote, the youth, has always found himself or herself as the recipient, not a contributor. So mentorship is about embracing the different potential and the different challenges that are there within a group and learning from them to make a better society. Like he said, synod and synodality. It's about synchronizing all the energies that are within the society to add value to the future that is to be. So for this, I'm thankful to the Commission.
Very good. You stressed very well. It is an opportunity to belong, is an opportunity to become. How do you envision the role that the youth should play in the church, especially within this structure that the synod journey gives us?
Yeah, I think we've had this for the last 2 years. We've been envisioned, or maybe we've been able to see how how the younger people can participate. Personally, I've interacted with the younger people so well, and I've been with different ages. For your information, within the Commission, we have 4 groups which are actually hosted by this, or maybe they are under this commission. One, we have the youths in the parishes. That's number 1. Number 2, we have the students, the Catholic students, who are the young Catholic students. Those maybe take maybe diplomas and below. We usually refer to them as young Catholic students, and plus some colleges which give they offer degrees. And then we have another group, which is the National Movement for Catholic Students, and this is purely for university students. And then we have another group which is above that, and probably that is the group that bridges the youth, the whole team of the youths, to the other group that is CMA, CWA, and that is the young Catholic adults. So you find within those groups, there are so many talents. And if these talents, as we've said, if they are well tapped and used, because I want to give a very live example from here, we have a logo for this commission. And I want to say that this logo was not designed by somebody outside the commission. It was actually designed by him. He's the one who designed the logo for the commission. Why? Because we didn't want to have somebody come outside the youth group or bracket to design for them, because they know what they want for themselves and of the church as contributors. As she has said, that we will not live in a church where we want to point at the church as though we are not members. And that's how we came up with the idea that we use them because they are, number one, they are creative. Number two, they are educated for that matter. And number three, they are very innovative. So when you want something done by them, you can be sure they are very energetic. And when you bring in the talents they have and all what they have, you can be sure it is another way of telling them your participation is very key in actually building up the body of the church, body of Christ, which is the church, and they are part of that. And then number two, you find that their creativity is very much needed in a world where, like for example, with the technology we have around, some of us probably may be lagging behind in terms of technology, but with them they are very fast with it, and therefore their contribution through the technological skills, it will help us so much. In fact, as we were coming to the studio, they were doing the posters for a program, for a show. Me, I was just seated down there relaxed because I have them. I have these fresh minds. I have this focused mind. I'm not saying I'm not focused, but they have also influenced me in one way. And so I want to appreciate their contribution in terms of the knowledge they have. It's something we appreciate. And therefore I want to say, if we continue using the talents they have, the church will grow to other levels. And then thirdly, what I want to see, or maybe what I am envisioning in the church to see it happen, is that if we can use the talents to evangelize, because we are part of the evangelizing team, because with the technology, with the creativity, the innovation they have, the skills, if we can transform these skills into useful things in the church, that is very, very good. For example, you find that the poster we posted this morning about the program we have a program running across our local radios and our national radio called Connect na Christ. That is their language. They have a language which is very good for them and which we also understand, those who accompany the younger people. And with this language, I think I never came up with the program. They came up with the program. And I found it good that if we allow the younger people to preach to themselves after we have guided them, we will be able to reach to so many younger people. I've been quoted so many times about a phrase I've been using, because when we went for the synod in Rome, we were reminded by Pope Francis of good memories, who came up with Christus Vivit, about two things. One, as you walk with and as you accompany the younger people, remember they are the nows. Otherwise, we don't need to refer them for future. We are taking them too far. Let's begin with them now. Let us allow them. Then number two, he said, as much as we remind ourselves and we remind them that they are the nows of today, it's good to listen. And in the listening, he qualified the listening, that it must be a listening with understanding. Be there to listen to them and understand. Otherwise, you cannot listen and respond before you understand what you are responding to. Within that, he said, listen, and they, of course, they will tell us a lot of nonsense. That's okay. But let's be able and pray before we also listen and we engage them to extract some sense in those nonsense they are telling us. They are telling us because they are free with us, as he has said, that we have opened, the church is open to listen to the younger people. And we are also ready to embrace. But they should also be ready to be guided, because we are their leaders. We are here to guide them. It is true, we are listening to them. And we pray and ask God to give us the ability to extract sense. In case they tell us nonsense, we will be able to extract sense from the nonsense, and then we will guide them properly. Thank you.
Yes.
On my end, I think if you ask me, I wanted to reference another page, but still from Christus Vivit. There is, I think, in the first chapters, Pope Francis is talking, there's something he was mentioning. He was referencing key cases in the Bible. And in these key cases, you have very interesting young people coming out. One of them is David. In his community, I want to believe, when David was coming up, he was not actually the most ideal person within that setup. In reality, he didn't have a space. He didn't have a space. Now, there is somebody used to tell me that when you come to a table or you come to meet people, you are not what these people say you are. You are what God thinks you are. So sometimes when we come to these spaces, I think for young people it is a challenge. But what has been the church is now doing, and I know, is reminding us that no, you are listening a lot to this noise out here. That, oh, we don't have this space, we don't have, oh, youth cannot come. And you see, Father is mentioning something very interesting, the talents. So then God is reminding, but you went to school, you learned digital, maybe artificial intelligence. In the church today, when Father was learning, there was no artificial intelligence. So who is going to remind Father, you can do this? I remember one day we were laughing in the office and I was telling him, Father, have you ever tried ChatGPT? And he says, and then he realizes it's a very efficient way. I'm sorry, Father, I'm using you as a reference because you're the one we have, and I know there are many others. There is another case where we are doing, like the posters we are now doing. I want to believe, I know he can learn, but he didn't have that when he was growing up. Now for us, we have that space. And this is why the church in a special way recognized Carlos to be a St. Carlos Acutis, right now venerable. So I was imagining, why did they recognize him? Is because he was not given that space. No one came to him and then said, Carlos, please wake up and take this opportunity. We have this space. No, he sat in his room and realized, oh my God, there are so many young people online and no one is doing anything to get to this point. So he went to his parish priest and told him, Father, I have an idea. I have this small computer in my room and this, I want to do this and this. Father said, okay, go ahead. And he started doing and creating this content, and slowly it grew and touched so many people around him. Now, to the young people, it is the same. You are talented in music. For example, Winnie here. She stood up. There is a culture already we had set that people have to sing. You have to go to the studio with your choir. If you are in church, you carry the entire choir going. But now today, no. Today it's, she can go with the way she sings. A Catholic solo artist. It is something she has branded herself as a young person. So I believe there is a space for young people. There is definitely a space for young people in the church.
Yes, I'm good.
I'm smiling because the entire conversation that we're having right now is anchored in the Christian faith, which is anchored in 80% of the decisions that were made by youth. Christ himself made the most significant decisions of his life when he was young. Mary, mother of Christ. If you look at the Old Testament and the New Testament, many characters that we refer to for divine direction were youthful in nature. David, Joseph, name them. The elderly were there too as a compass. So there is room, and I like what is happening right now. We are going back to the drawing board. This is essentially how the church was supposed to be, where the outgoing recognizes the incoming and have a dialogue and agree to disagree for the sake of the growth of the society. So the church is the youth, and the youth is the church. So, yeah.
Now that the Father has heard from Pope Francis that he should work with. Thank you very much. Now, can you speak to me about the challenges of the youth today. How really their struggles in day-to-day life, and how can you relate this to the disappointment that many feel and all that. Yes.
Yes, I will actually answer that question in two ways. From the perspective of a priest dealing or maybe accompanying the younger people, because I also grew as a young person anyway, the challenges are still fresh, you know. I had my own challenges, but I will be able to link them with what I'm going through, because I'm able to challenge the challenges they pose to me. They may not be so much different from what we went through, of course. We grew like them and all that. To start with, there is this biblical story about the prodigal son. He grew in a family context, but when you read with the critical mind the story of the prodigal son, you'll be able to get to know that until you come back into sense. One thing that started the story for knowledge sake is that, number one, you must understand that this son had to come back to senses. I'm cutting it short because of time, because when you start from where he started now, realizing that I'm out of context, I'm out of the family context, family setup, and the challenges he went through, they are not different from what our young people are going through. But at the moment this young man came back into senses and he said, I will wake up. You know, our younger people must understand that there is a reference group. There are leaders, there are elder brothers and sisters who have gone ahead of them. And she said that there is the outgoing and the incoming. They must meet somewhere. And that's why we are here to listen to the younger people. They are here to listen to us, so that now we tell them what is ahead of them, where they have no experience, you know. So that now we tell them, this young man, when he said, I will wake up and go and say, and he said, I'm happy that he was inspired. He said, he counted the number of challenges he went through. Number one, he had no food. Number two, money ran off. He can't, you see, they are jobless. There is a lot that actually is around the younger people. But when you come into senses and you see there's an opportunity somewhere that I can actually maybe approach, or maybe there's someone who can maybe can mentor me, can actually advise me, can even direct and guide me on how to go about it, you will be able to get 6 important things. Number one, when this young man came back into senses, he gained something that the other brother never gained. Number one, he was embraced. The father embraced, while the elder brother was still in the shamba or in the garden. Number two, the father ordered for the best. I'm telling the younger people that the best awaits for you. All through, once you come to senses. He got the best robe. He ordered for the best robe. Number two, the father ordered for the best pair of shoes for this son. Number four, the father ordered for the best ring. Number five, the father said, if there is the best fattened calf, let it come here. And the sixth point, there was a lot of success. And that success was translated into celebration. When a younger person is promised all these things, I'm sure, and coming to senses does not mean that you are a bad character, no. It means that situation you are in, somebody was before, and they can at least do some induction and give you some orientation, which you can go through if you have that. Because the challenge is, we have this, fine, we understand. The only challenge I'm posing to the younger people as we grow is that let's be open to some of these realities. They are there, as we know. For example, me, I grew in a background that was not a Christian background. I had to look at, because of my father wasn't a Christian, in such was a Muslim, and you know, and then he turned to be Another, he never became a Christian immediately. In fact, he was baptized 3 months to his last breath, you know. I agree in that. But I had some people outside whom I saw they were role models. I ran to them, I consulted them. In fact, I guided them, and in the university also, it is now a time to see a good example, a role model to follow, or ask the way. Because sometimes we don't ask the way because we can't see, but we want some fine details about the way. And there are people who are ready to help the younger people grow. And I also want to challenge those who accompany the younger people at the same time, that as we accompany the younger people, we have 2 things to do to them. They have sharp minds. We are not dealing with zombies and all that. We are dealing with the sharp minds and people who are educated for that matter. And we need to know we are just dealing with the sharp minds. Number 2, we have people to shape their lives. We need to shape their lives because Christ has given us that mandate to shape these souls for the sake of the society and the church at large, because we need them. There is no time, there is no way I can ignore the younger generation in life, whether I am at my 50s or what. No, even at 60s, you need them. They are doctors. Like she's a solo artist, a Catholic solo artist. If you listen to the music, it has a lot to teach you. It has a lot. If you look at what he's doing, you will need, as a parish priest, for example, even the diocese, even you at where you are, you need some renovation of this studio. You'll need him. In fact, he has what you don't have. You know, we need to appreciate and embrace them to shape their future. Because we advise them, we recommend them, and we wish them, and as we pray for them, it is good also to see how can we shape this future? How can we hold this soul in these young people, because it's very important. Thank you, sister.
Yes, our mentor.
I think for me, I would term the biggest challenge as hasty generalization by both the society and the youth themselves in equal measure. When you look at the society, say for example, a youth has a proposal and the receiving end on the other side has had a norm of how things are looked at. Then we make very quick assumption that Kenya anasema, whatever he's saying cannot work here, and it cannot be shared by a person their age. Instead of looking at what is this youth talking about, how is it important to him or her and to us, and how can it revolutionize the state that we are in. It is the society labeling the youth as inadequate. On the other side, still on the hasty generalization from the part of the youth, we have them always assuming that I have shared my ideas, they have taken time to respond to what I have said, and therefore they don't value. So we have the fight-flight mode, where the society wants to supervet what the youth is saying because of possibly previous experiences they've had with decisions made by the youth. And now the youth on the other side saying, we are always supervetted and therefore we don't have to share. So for me, it's a call for critical thinking when dealing with matters, age difference, and analyzing issues accordingly. What do I mean by this? In critical thinking, we are always pushed to ask ourselves questions, both the society and the youth. Like, if I were to ask myself a question about what I'm thinking right now, would I articulate it the way I have just done it? It's about, for me, the solution would be thinking about our thinking before we verbalize it. both from the youth and society, because people will calm down, sober up, and come up with an equilibrium, an agreeable solution that can lead to a redirection or an embracement, if there's such a word. Is there such a word as embracement? Embracing. So hasty generalization should be dropped from both the society and the youth. Biggest challenge from my end.
Yes, our architect.
Thank you, sister. I'm really trying to find because they have really shared a lot, very deep. But I want to dwell on something. I think also it's related to what she's saying. We were sharing actually just before we came in. There is a cultural, on one end it's a cultural shock, and this is to our older generation. Some of the things the young people are doing today come out as a culture shock. Because, for example, when we used, I want to assume father and sister, when we used to board the matatus back in which years? 2000s, 70s, 80s, 90s, they were very quiet. You had these beautiful spaces where you would walk in, you're in CBD, the KBS buses, and the way they were very... Now today, if you go into the same street, you will not want to board that bus. Why? Because these are young people, the youth are the ones who are running the touts there, and the music they play is loud, and for them they will not, the way she was saying, they will not be able to accept, sister is older, and sister may not like this music. The equilibrium point. I think one thing about the youth generation we have today is, number one, as father was saying, very knowledgeable. They have access to a lot of knowledge. Their speed with the internet, our speed, let me not say there, our speed with the internet is, I wake up today, the Pope has said something, I'll receive it before you receive it from your press. I'll get that thing very quickly. And how we get this and we internalize now comes to what she was saying. Because the way I will internalize, I may not wait to hear what my dad or my uncle will come and say the perspective. So by that point, I've made a decision and I've stood on a certain point. So when somebody else comes in, and also the background where our young people also are coming from has a lot of influence. We have young people coming from single families. I'm not saying single families are bad, but I want to imagine there are places where some are coming from where you never had a dad, you never had a mom, or you're coming from a very poor family background. You're coming from a family where maybe your parents don't go, alcoholic families. You have gone through a lot. Every day in the morning you wake up, you see your dad and mom are fighting, or you see a lot. There is a lot in this African setup, and it's a mix of so many things. But I know also from it, this is where most young people pick some things. The other day we were in Mass last year, the National Youth Convention, and I remember the bishops noted something, and he highlighted it, that our young people today are afraid of marriages, family life. Why? Why are they not? Like when I used to grow up, I would see, you want to get married, you go very quickly. Today, everyone is shying away, saying, this is not the space. Then that says a lot, because there is somewhere, the background, there is somewhere they went through a lot. So sometimes I see so many people trying to address, and I know so many people have come with so many books saying, maybe we do this, we train them here. But I also came to realize, no, there is also a lot of healing that has to be done for the young people. So many of them have come up from very backgrounds that do not allow them to see the family the way father would see it, or the way mom would see it. They may see it in a very different light. There needs to be healing inside. So those are some of the challenges our young people are facing today.
Connecting to your desire for this healing and all that, I would like to see how can the digital space, which today's youth is the continent in which they inhabit, can really be a space of healing, a space where also somebody can be helped to journey as the journey of synodality.
Yes, thank you, sister, for that question. That healing process, I want to say here that we are programs, because we cannot be there for one particular person or young person, but we have programs that we run in the commission that are actually purely meant for the younger people. For example, in our syllabus, I'm calling it a syllabus because of the programs we are using. Anytime we have these meetings, we usually, the first thing that we advocate is, if you have something that you want to share with the priest, or maybe somebody whom you feel, if you talk to, you'll get that healing or you'll receive that healing, we are actually advising that every meeting that is held, for example, we have masses, diocesan mass, it's good. We usually put priests to sit, not necessarily for conversions. Of course, the first one is conversion, but at least some moment for sharing. We also have, we've gotten reports from the priests in the diocese that they are having retreats, online retreats, recollection. They're even sending novenas for these young people to we are also, like, when we have these forums, we are calling these psychologists to come over and say something, even in the interactions. Like today, we have a show at 7 to 8 at Radio Waumini, and there are two presenters there. I mean, there are two guests at the studio, and I had instructed them to talk about mental health. It's a lot. It's all over with the younger people. Just not that the younger people are the target, but because they are under our docket, we want these avenues to be used so well. Make sure you talk something about if you have a challenge, and that's why we are sharing our contacts with them. That we are telling them, get to this person, talk, share your issues. If it's Winnie here, talk to her. She will be able to assist where possible if it is doable. And then that is another thing. Then the other thing is that we have retreat centers and we are referring them. During this year of Jubilee, we have celebrations. Actually, it was through the bishops that we have celebrations in the diocese. And what was the talk about? The talk is about the mercy of God. And then we see these younger people realizing that I'm not that useless, I'm not that wasted. At least I can realize my dreams if I'm able to fall. And why are we saying this? I want to quote him. The saint that we will be celebrating, or maybe will be canonized on September, is a very young man. It's a very young man. And that also, when we send these things, the history and all that to the younger people, it's also another healing, because somebody may have said, oh no, I don't think I can make to send wood and all that. But when you read the history, we encourage our young people to read the life history of these saints, young saints. Of course, we have the Uganda Martyrs. We are encouraging our younger people to go for these pilgrimages, so that when they go for them, like the one in Namugongo, we have our local shrines, we have the national shrines, and we have the international ones. For those who get an opportunity to go to the diocesan shrines, kindly take time, pray, so that at least you don't, there is this culture, pray for me, but there is no one particular moment you sat down, you went on your knees, prayed for yourself, pray for your family, pray for the church, pray for, it is good also. We encourage them to pray for themselves. We encourage them to pray. And then also, there is also this issue coming up that I don't think it's wise. It's an idea because of what, there is this reference, we are referring our younger people to psychiatrists and so on, but I don't think it's a lot for that, to that level. There is this parents, there is the parenting aspect, or where the parent will always tell, go to auntie, go to uncle, go and meet your uncle. I think the parent can, because listen to her from that particular point. We are encouraging parents to listen to their daughters and the sons at that particular point, because the moment you refer, it's very expensive to refer to this, you taking them to rehabilitation centers. You know, I don't think we have such a bad generation with our younger people. They are not that extreme. We can, before we refer, I'm not saying it's bad to refer them, but I'm saying before we refer a big number to the rehabilitation centers, let's first handle our issues from within. He has mentioned something very important about the family context. When the environment within the family is not conducive, it's not good for them to grow, definitely it becomes a challenge to them, and we will be able to, they will be referred to us. I will not pray for somebody just merely for praying. I will first talk to them. Talk to them before you pray for them. Because you will pray for them and the issue is not about prayer. It could not be, it may not be a spiritual issue. Probably it may be a psychological issue that needs attention other than prayer. But I would say more to prayer and other things, it's good we refer them to people who can work. And again also, themselves, they know each other than us. The peer-to-peer counseling is very key. I would also advise that we go for the peer-to-peer counseling. Not, although their counseling is not per se counseling, you know, it is well understood by them better than us. They know what I mean by peer-to-peer counseling, but they can, actually a big percentage can assist. It has really assisted. And then there is also something that has really come up as I was speaking about their patience also. You know, they want it to be instant. This is an instant generation. They want things to happen right away. Immediately I mentioned to my father, tomorrow I want 1,000 shillings to go to this particular. Supposing the parent says, I don't have. Completely the parent does, no, you know, I am hated, I don't know, it is, stop comparing yourself to others. Be patient with your parent. Be patient with even with yourself. You know, this morning, I woke up and I was a bit late, and I needed to take something hot. And somebody referred to me to, we have an instant coffee maker there. I can't really, you know, I was like, so fast it comes. This is a generation which is so instant in terms of things coming to them, but I want to tell you them to reconcile that instant kind of waiting to your patience, so that at least you balance. Otherwise, you don't just want things to happen right away the way they are. So thank you so much, sister.
Yes. Boy, can you speak to us at the light of the intervention of Father, this peer-to-peer accompaniment? I do not say counseling, but accompaniment. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Father, for sharing that. It's quite important. I like the idea of healing in the digital space, because referencing what Father has just said, these young people have been born in a digital age, and they are interacting with the digital gadgets that can bring their world, the different worlds, closer. So with the technology that they so much love, they can share their different stories. Somebody from Tanzania, somebody from Uganda, Burundi, Kenya, and they will see the similarity of the different challenges that they are going through. And just like Father said, it's peer from a different environment. Yeah? Like they will be able to see, I am not the only person going through this, and therefore I do not have to condemn myself to be a useless person or somebody who is not fit to continue living in the society. Remember, at the moment we are dealing with issues of mental illnesses. Very many people are going through challenges because they are not speaking about it. But when in the digital era, these young people are able to compare notes of how did that person who's currently sharing a situation navigate through it and get the courage to share it out for me to learn. So they become each other's inspirers. Yeah. Besides that, I think the peer-to-peer thing will help them look at, say for example, it's Bill sharing from the other end, and I'm checking online, say through Twitter or checking through Instagram or TikTok or whichever platform, online platform. I'll be able to have time to reflect upon my own unhealed trauma and look at how did I get to the level where I am, where I feel that I'm not worth it or I'm not significant. So it will give us as youth or the youth an opportunity to look at the inner child that is in the subconscious that was never taken care of, and courtesy of the sharing of Bill, I'll have an opportunity to unravel the pages of my life and become a better person or seek support from now the professionals or the people around me that can add value to my transformation. So the peer-to-peer thing can work miracles, especially now. Instead of sharing so much of attacks to each other, we can share our own pains, our own successes, their own pain and their own successes, and they inspire each other to become better. We have seen movers and shakers of this world being showcased out there, and then courtesy of that they make other movers and shakers. So it's quite transformative to have peer-peer.
Yeah, thank you, sister. To pick something from what she has said, I'm not supporting what she has said because it is very strong. It does need support. It's very strong. I have something that has come up in my mind about what she has said, that healing, I've had some experience with the younger people in the office and even outside the context of the office, that listening to spiritual music brings healing. I've had some cases, testimonies, that Father, there is this song you sent to me. It was very inspiring, very encouraging, and I feel at least from what I listened to and what I got is very healing. Then number two, I'm also encouraging the younger people to post inspirational posts. Because you are followers. You are people who follow your accounts, I don't know, and all that. And they follow you because of something that you send or you posted that touched their soul. So I'm encouraging even those who are posting things, could we kindly post something that inspires other souls so that we bring healing? Because even when you share, like she has said about stories, post your story. If you share that story with other people, it will bring healing, because maybe they could have gone through the same, and then when they read that inspiring story about you, or maybe that what you went through, share. The third thing after music and after that posting, I'm encouraging, because they are very technological, that is obvious. Could you kindly go for something that can inspire you, even in the internet, whatever you read, whatever content you come across. If you think, because there is also this temptation that you go for these secular posts and all that, it is not proper again. Go for something that you think, when somebody is referred to you, you can assist. Thank you, sister.
Yes. Oburu?
I don't have much. I think for me, I will only add one thing to what they have said.
Yes.
When we talk of digital healing, now for the young person, the digital space is home. She was saying that they spend a lot of time. There is a research that I was sharing even with you today. There is a research that was showing that on average, a young person spends 4.5 to 6 hours online, just on YouTube, TikTok. And I want to share my small experience. I was, I didn't know about so much. Like I used to go online, and some years back, and the first thing I would check is what are the highlights, sport football highlights. I want to see which team played, how did my team perform. Then once I'm done with that, I want to see which is the trendiest music coming forth. And when I would go, you see, you are what you build yourself. So the type of knowledge you pump into you is definitely what will, the way Jesus says, it's what will come out. It is from the fullness of the heart, the mouth speaks. So you realize you build this is what comes in, and you are unable to grasp and open space for, and that's why when we're talking about the digital space, also to the young people who are engaging, and we are calling them to be digital evangelizers, bring this message of healing to the digital space, you have also to learn. There is a discipline to train yourself how to bring this content in. Where are you gathering this content from? And in my experience, I remember I started one day, just somebody asked me, can you go and see this talk by, then I was, what talk? Who is this priest online sharing this? So he referenced me some case, an entire series of made by the late Venerable Archbishop Fulton Sheen, Life is Worth Living. It is an entire series of so many episodes, and he speaks about it. And then I was, surely there is this nice content, and I've never seen it my entire life. So I started watching, and then slowly by slowly, this started turning both me inside, understanding, oh, there is something I actually never knew. And it's not just him. I have so many. Father himself is one. He does every day in the morning. Father, he shares something on TikTok, some positive message. I've seen my friends back in our parish. I've seen young people creating social media posts of what they are doing as young people. They have visited an elderly person, and they just took a quote. Maybe she said something, and they pick it and then connect it with a verse and share. And then somebody on the other side is saying, and oh, I really like what you guys did. It touched me. To one person, from one person to the other, it is a reciprocal connection. So that may be all I can add to this topic for digital healing.
Yes, Father.
From what he has said, I have picked some 3 points that I would wish to mention them about. It is true about referring. It's good to refer. If a case, even to the priests, even to those other people accompanying the younger people, it's good to refer these younger people to someone whom you think is capable of helping this young person. Other than dealing with the issue yourself, yet you are not helping. Why is it dangerous to maintain this person? It is because if this person doesn't get the healing, or doesn't get he or she what she wants, definitely she will actually change the story. And the story will be, I went to so and so, he or she never helped me. If it's a CSS, a priest, if it's a patron or a matron, will say, I wasn't helped, and it is good. I will encourage us, if these young people come to us, let's refer them to these experts or these people who can help them. The second thing is about those of us who are preparing this post or whatever we want to communicate. It must be something creative. Otherwise, from what I've learned and what I've experienced as a priest accompanying the younger people, is that they are very easily bored. If you are not creative and you just, for example, I have something that pulls them. I am sure not a majority, but the few. There is a very small tagline I usually put in my posts about wisdom drop. So somebody will want to know, these younger people, they are very curious of so many things. So they would want to know, what does this one? Because some of us are not creative. We are so plain in our presentations. And I went somewhere, I will not mention the school for the sake of its name. And of course it was a girls' school. That one to that point is clear. And as I finished preaching, I noted some reactions with the girls. And what was this? So they were putting their legs like this, they were doing this, and I was like, okay, what is this? So I wanted a feedback after Mass. And I want to confess, I had prepared a very long sermon. Oh, I was given a feedback immediately, and it was like, could you summarize? And I was, this is, let's also learn, those of us who are dealing with the younger people, it's good to learn to get feedbacks from these young people, because immediately they will know. If you didn't prepare something, because they are reading. They are doing the same readings, and they are also thinking, and they are also being inspired. Of course, it's not us who are inspired alone. They are also inspired, and it's good also to prepare. I'm not saying we don't. You remember last year, also probably 2 years ago, Pope Francis did say, your homily should be within 7 minutes. I don't think the Pope was discouraging people from preaching, no. I think he was making it clear that prepare something in summary, because you are also preparing it with people who are doing the same. So that at least, for example, if I'm taking like 1 hour, preaching, definitely the feedback will be obvious. It was long. And they will not fear. They will tell you on the face, it was too long, but it was minus content. So it's good also to learn to the dynamics in the youth generations and all that. Thank you, sister.
Very good. Father, I'd like to know, what are the future? What you have in mind, the dreams that you have for this national office and the youth apostolate here. As you have shared with us, the youth apostolate is quite new. It is a baby. Probably now it's crawling. It's about to stand and then start running. So, could you share with us your dreams, hopes towards the future of this? And also, for sure, the team here will share with us also this.
Yes. Thank you, sister, for that. The dreams I have and the future I have for this commission, of course not mine, but for the conference, is that number one, I would wish, and that is my prayer, and I would wake up, even if I will not be alive, to see a faith-formed church. Because in our faith formation programs, this is where we are building the church. So number one, it is about faith formation programs. That I would wish to see it realized. That dream, that within the commission we enhance that faith formation programs. Number two, we have this vocation discernment. The church is sustained by vocations for real, because and I want to thank God most sincerely for the much experience I have now within the church. The short time I've been going to the universities, to the schools, and interacting with the youth groups, I've noted a percentage of vocations growing, a good one. Actually, and I'm sure even from the daughters of St. Paul, you have realized there is a growth in vocations, and therefore that is a dream that I want to see in the next 5 years or so, to see the vocations grow, because this is where we get vocations. Soon and very soon we are retiring and we need vocations. Vocations to marriage, vocation to priesthood, vocation to sisterhood, vocation of generally to religious life. And we need these vocations in the church. As he mentioned, although there is that fear, but that fear can be put down if we promote these faith formation programs attached to vocations. And then the third thing is that we need leaders in the church, both the church and in the society, the larger society. We need leaders, and not just leaders, but leaders with integrity. That is a challenge we have, and I have that dream it is deep in my soul that I want to see a society that is full of leaders with integrity, because that within the social teachings of the church, that is very key, where humanity is taken care of and it becomes the sole target to make it or to promote it, where we have that leader who is very integral in life, so that at least we have somebody and we have a church that respects human life. Then the fourth thing is about the kind of development we want. We want people who are development conscious, those who can think of how do I develop the church, how do I contribute to the church, because it is no longer now it's about what do I take to the church. Because the church is not, for the longest time we've been at the receiving end. We want to develop our church. It is our church where I am a member and I want it to grow. I want it to develop. And how do we develop? Because development is not only faith, even the physical development. Because there is also this aspect of I want to be given by the church, but we also want to see a generation that has grown to give to the church. Then finally, there is this aspect of preparation for the poor. I think for the longest time, I've noted a very big problem in the society as such, not the church, but we have this, even when we go to this, we are in the church setups, what do we discuss first? What do we discuss? We discuss things that are so worldly, and we forget that we have souls that we are supposed to take to the Creator. I think I wanted to see a church or maybe a young people which is very sacramental. Yes, because when this church is not, when this young generation, they are out of the sacraments, of course it's just a church, like another church. But the church is sustained by the sacraments. I want to see a young generation, a commission that promotes the sacramental life of these younger people. Thank you, sister.
Thank you. Wangui?
For me, I envision or I dream of a time when what was birthed by the commission comes to fruition, is actualized through the young people. I'm sure it took a lot of thinking, deliberations, trials, before coming up with what it is that the commission needs to achieve. I look forward to that time when every youth that goes through the support of the commission achieves what the mission they were sent by God to achieve in all aspects of life, both emotionally, spiritually, and everything. Number two, I dream of a future of a youth that has gone through failures, dusted themselves, become strong, and learned ways of becoming better and receiving the baton from the outgoing leadership. Because the continuity of the church is anchored in hopeful youth that are going to receive the baton and hand over to other generations that shall come. And number three, I envision or I look forward to a time when every creativity, every potential that is within the youth group that is currently within the church is developed, nurtured, and it becomes an instrument of change to the church. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sister. I think for me, the first thing, I'll break it into three. There is the personal vision I have for the youth as an individual person, then for the youth as a commission, the national office, and also for those who are outside, because the national office, our National Catholic Office, focuses on our Catholic youth, those who are outside that space. So beginning with the individual, I envision that one day the youth will be able, the wish will say, will be able to see that it doesn't matter what we went through, I am the change that is going to make, I'm the one who's supposed to bring this change for tomorrow. And this change does not begin with people outside. I first have to accept that I need to heal. I need to check, there are things about me I need to change and understand so that I'm able to now accommodate and go and help Father Cosmas or go and help Winnie, go and help. It begins with you. You help yourself first, change begins inside, then flows outside. Then to the second part, the national office, the Commission for Youth Apostolate. I pray that one day the youth will realize in entirety that we are the ones who we need to play a front role, not we are not back soldiers, the soldiers who sit at the back and then watch what is happening. No, we have an active role and we need to spearhead. So this change and this, we are talking about synod and synodality. This is not something for Father Cosmas. This is not something for Sister. It is something meant for. I am the one who's going to be going through all this change. Where am I actively participating in this stage? We are talking about there are so many things. The Christus Vivit book, for example. This is not something that was meant for the parish priest. It was meant for the young people. You need to be active. I envision that one day the young people will have this space where we are very active and you see them. You're not even waiting to hear. You see them taking active roles at the front end of things. And then for the youth in general, outside, I pray that one day they will also realize and will be able to eradicate. I know there is something that is disturbing us as a country, and we call it corruption. The other day I was telling somebody that corruption is not something that I don't think it is. It begins out. You go and experience it outside. It begins from even a small setup as a family. I remember when I was young, and I want to reference this as myself, I will go and find my younger brother, and I know I did something wrong, and God forgive me. I did something wrong, so I leave, and then I come back, and I know my brother is going to report this to my mom. So I go and decide I'll buy a sweet and tell him, you take this and please don't
Tell on me.
Don't tell this to my mom. You see where it has begun? And then by the time we are reaching to this level, it is a menace. It is at full-blown stage. So now you're trying to curb it here, but it started a long time ago, innocently. So I pray that we wake up and realize, no, actually it's not the government, it's not somebody outside, it is us.
Thank you very, very much for your experiences, witnesses, as we continue this pilgrimage of hope. In fact, in your dreams for the future that are hopeful youth, energetic, that they take initiative, I believe, and participate in the church fully, not as backup soldiers, but who actively take action and bring the gospel to the others in spirit of synodality. May your words really discover joy, this joy in the faith that we believe and the courage of mission. To all our viewers, let us journey together in this Jubilee year of hope. not just as spectators, but really as pilgrims of hope. Don't forget, please, like, share, and subscribe for more Jubilee stories that you will find in our Paulines Africa YouTube channel. Until next time, stay blessed. We are a faith-formed church. Thank you to all of you. Here in our technical support, I have Sister Agatha Chipuli, daughter of St. Paul. I have Monica, Duncan, and Timothy. Thank you to all of you that have been accompanying us. God bless you and best wishes in all your undertakings.
In every heart, a hopeful plea for good things coming wild and free. Don't know tomorrow, but we believe new good moments we conceive. Youth for Christ, a hopeful sign. Young heart shining, truly divine. They're the hope and spirit bright, guiding us with all the light. See their energy strong and clear, helping hands banishing fear. Volunteer.